everyone. My name is Nihareeka Ghadge and I welcome you on behalf of YLCC. We are here with a series of interviews of law students who made their own way to reach their destination you might be secretly wishing to reach. So today we have with us Shailza Agarwal from Symbiosis Law School, Noida. Shailza is a penultimate year BBA LLB student and is an active mooter. She has recently won the 15th NLS Trilegal International Arbitration Moot Court Competition in 2022, and therefore we have requested her to share her experience with you all today. So without a further ado, let us get started. So Shailza, instead of me introducing you, how about you briefly introduce yourself?
Hi Niharika. First of all, thank you so much for the introduction. As you rightly pointed out, I'm a fourth year student from Symbiosis Law School, Noida. Other than that, other than the legal journey that I am on, I'm also a writer. I write poems, I write prose, and that's just a hobby which has transformed me into the person I am right now. And other than that, I think we'll be talking about my professional life in the further questions.
Right. So directly diving into the questions. So how would you describe your law school journey till now, and what was the effect of COVID on it?
So law school journey, I think most of the students would put it as a roller coaster ride. But we need elements to make it a roller coaster ride. But because my batch faced COVID, I think that element, that twist was enough in our law school journey. So 7 months into law college, we were still making friends. We were still getting to know people. And then COVID struck. We had COVID. So 2 years of COVID, I think it's both positive and negative. To answer your question, first of all, on the positive side, it's a very comfortable environment for me. It was, I know for a lot of people, it was a very harsh time, but we were in the comfort of our homes. We had online classes, we had online internships. So we sought any opportunity that came our way. On the negative side, because we were still getting to know people, I think it constrained us. There's a lot of things that we missed out on, a lot of physical experiences that we missed out on, a lot of interactions with not only the batchmates, not only the college people, but also in internships with seniors, with teachers, with faculty. Because physical interactions develop you, they help you connect, they help you build your network. So my batch missed out on the networking side because of COVID. Whatever we could, we did. But other than that, I think, yes, COVID was a new experience in the professional life. It added a lot, but it took a lot from us too.
Right. So amongst other moot court wins, you have emerged as the winner of the 15th NLS Trilegal International Arbitration Moot Court Competition. So how would you like to describe your experience, mostly focusing on the preparation stage?
So NLS Trilegal has a very interesting story. So my team, it was me, Oren and Raghav, three of us. So we were allotted the SARC moot and we lost it. Okay, and we lost it bad. So now Oren and I always wanted to do the NLS Trilegal moot, but the faculty requested us that we had to prove ourselves because since we've already lost one moot, we cannot be given the NLS Trilegal moot. So KLA moot came as a deal between the faculty and between us. Like we had to win the KLA moot to get the NLS Trilegal allotted to us. So our team did a really good job in the KLA moot. We won the moot and then we were allotted Trilegal. Now, to put it in a perspective, KLA is a constitutional moot. There's a lot of begging along with the arguments. There's a lot of pressure in the arguments, a lot of assertions. And NLS Trilegal is an arbitration moot. So you have to restrict yourself with all the assertions. There's a certain informal way that you address your arguments, and it's a conversation going on with conviction. So to shift from assertions to conviction was a difficult job for both Oren and me, but we had our amazing seniors with us. We had our faculty to guide us. Again, with the memo also, for KLA and for other constitutional moots, we use language like it is submitted, it is asserted, it is put forth. But for arbitration, it is a conversational memo, like you're explaining something to somebody. So through that journey, through all the changes, we received good guidance. There are a lot of seniors who helped us throughout, not only in the drafting, but also in the pleading session. So the preparation went well. Our moot also got delayed a number of times, but we got through it and we got through it good. So I'm really thankful to all the people who helped us, receive that change with a good heart and a good mind.
Right. So throughout your law school journey, you have received many awards for your oratory skills, to be precise. So were you always a good orator, or did you take any special efforts to train yourself to be one?
I come from a convent school background. I've studied in a convent school. Now, convent school focuses mainly on co-curricular activities rather than extracurricular activities. So debates, extemporaries, group discussions were already the part of activities that our school provided us with. And that in a manner polished our skills, the skills that we were already having, but it always needs certain amount of polishing. So my school particularly helped me a lot in developing my oratory skills. Then when I got into symbiosis, there I think I remained aloof from a lot of activities, but then MCS happened. When I got selected into Moot Court Society, mooting, oratory skills go hand in hand with mooting. You cannot do mooting without oration. So I think that is a way where these oratory skills came handy with me. But again, there's nothing without practice. Before moots, before pleadings, also we have to go through a lot of practices. We have to go through a lot of discussions to bring that out on the final day. Otherwise, it is not possible without practice. It makes a man perfect.
Right. So moving on to the next part. So you have also interned at reputable firms. And since almost everyone aims to get internship there, it is very hard to get shortlisted. So what was the extra element you added to your CV to get shortlisted for such big internships?
If I'm allowed to put forth an unpopular opinion here, I think yes, top tier firm internships play a significant role and everybody aims for it. But I don't think it's an end goal for everyone, because law as a subject is divided into a lot of segments, and corporate internships is not that everybody looks for. Okay, there are a lot of people who want to go into litigation and work with people who have made name in that field. So yes, I want to aim for corporate internships, and I had my CV and cover letter in place. Then we had LEAP. Now, LEAP is a program which is organized by my college, Symbiosis Law School, Noida, in which they invite professionals to guide us. So YLCC also came to us during the LEAP. Samanika guided us throughout the LEAP sessions. There were 2 or 3 weeks devoted to LEAP, in which she taught us how to build our CV, how to build a cover letter, how to highlight your strengths and how to highlight your weaknesses in a manner that looks like your strengths. So I think her guidance through those 2 weeks made me make a lot of changes in my CV and in my cover letter. So with those particular points, yes, when you have a CV and a cover letter in place, I think internships value that. People value that and they take you in.
Right. So could you tell one good experience and one bad experience from your internship journey so far? And what was your takeaway from it?
Good and bad experiences are subjective for me. Like one experience can be good for someone, can be bad for someone. If I'll give you an example, if a senior I'll not say scolding, is criticizing me for some job which I've done, for a person it would be a bad experience, but for another person it could be a learning that they will use in future, and they'll remember that criticism, that because that criticism happened, it has helped me today. So I think experiences, classifying them as good or bad is not ideal until and unless you are not learning something from it. When you're learning something from an experience, it is a good experience at the end of the day.
Any bad experience?
Bad experiences, I'll again say, I think whatever experiences I've had in my internships, even if they have not been so yielding, I think they have helped me in some way or the other. If I had not done those internships in which article writing was required, then I think I would have not been able to put arguments in my memo on a short notice basis. So everything throughout those internships has helped me in my life in some way or the other.
Right. So law students end up confused owing to the numerous options regarding mentorship or any other external help beyond law school. So how important do you think it is in terms of organized and optimum paced career development, since law school might fail to focus on every student's growth particularly?
For one, regarding the mentorship question, I think yes, because law is a very diverse subject, and students, when they enter law school, the perception they have of law is the one they've seen in Suits or the one they've seen in online movies or series. So that is not law. Law has a wide area to cover. So during those initial years, if there's a mentor, if there's a senior that is guiding them throughout, I think it helps a lot. for the optimum paced career development, I think devoting each day, not the whole day, but 1 or 2 hours each day to work and your professional life, keep the body in motion, and you will be not remaining aloof from the professional life. If you're devoting 1 or 2 hours also daily to your professional life, it'll keep you occupied, it'll keep your mind working. And mentorship along with that, I think, will yield good results and help you getting a more clearer view about what you want to do in future.
Right. So how important do you think is to have clarity on what areas you want to work in and subsequently conveying it to the employer?
For areas, this law school journey is a 5 years journey. For first and second year, I think we were not so professional with our work, or we were not so much understanding the work allotted to us that we would have been demanding about the work that we need to do. When third year or fourth year started, there's a certain clarity regarding the area that we want to work in. And of course, we can always ask the employer that, sir, I want to explore this field, or I've explored this field and I have an interest in this field. So I think it'll be beneficial for me if you can allot me the work that I want to do. But it can also, like, we need to understand that the employer's need and our needs cannot intersect always. Certain times it will be the situation where you have to do the work which you're not interested in because your employer needs it, and you have to do it because their needs correlate to your needs at the end of the day. So I think, yes, putting your perception is good, putting your demands is good, but understanding the employer's need also needs to be in place.
Right. So moving on to the next question, there are always two groups of students, right? So the one who believes that it is very important to get good grades, and the other who totally relies on the internship and other experiences. So which approach do you think is the ideal one, or which do you think you should follow?
There's no ideal approach, and good grades and internships are to be balanced, because when we look at the CV of any student, the educational qualifications is the first thing that an HR sees. But along with it, if you don't have practical experience behind you, then no employer could hire you, because having theoretical knowledge is one thing, but having practical knowledge on the other hand makes it a whole. So because I have always focused on my studies, so I think it's a good way to keep yourself busy also, and understanding the theory behind the practical application. Practical application comes later, before you have to understand the subject to practically apply it. So yes, when you are maintaining your grades along with the applying for internships, that will be the most beneficial thing. One doesn't cannot be prioritized over the other, but subsequently in fourth year or fifth year, I think internships have a lot more importance than the good grades. Good enough grades will make a student go. Yeah.
Right. So one last question before we conclude the interview. What plans do you have for the remainder of your law school journey?
Law school journey, so far I've just figured out that I have interest in particular subjects. To name them, it would be ADR or IPR. So I am focusing to channelize my internships according to these two subjects, and I'm looking for opportunities that might come my way this 1.5 years, and I'll take those opportunities and build a career for myself. That is my focus right now.
Right. That was a very insightful session, Shailza. Thank you so much for taking out time and sharing your inputs. We hope our audience will immensely benefit from your experience, and I wish you all the best on behalf of YLCC for your bright future ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nihareeka. Thank you to YLCC for this interview.